Hello and congratulations on getting access to this video course on OnPage SEO for WordPress sites. This is video number 1, and we're going to talk about what's inside this video course. Now, before we do that, and before I give you a quick overview, what I want to do is talk about mindset, because I'm a big believer that if you're in the wrong mindset, then even if you have this video course, even if you try to implement a few things, it's ultimately going to hold you back. And I've seen this time and time again. This specific mindset that I'm about to talk about holds business owners back. And we don't want to see that happen to you. We want to see you succeed as much as possible. Here is the mindset. The mindset is that people make the assumption that every single SEO technique and rule changes rapidly so that what worked 15 years ago doesn't work now. Now, I will say a large majority, yes, it's true that search engine optimization does change rapidly every single month. Now, at the same time, and yes, that is true to a certain extent, but there are basic fundamentals that Google and other search engines look for that still hold true today, that still work today. So let me repeat that. Not everything has changed. It might have changed slightly. But if you get into that mindset of, oh, everything changes, everything that used to work 10 years ago doesn't work now, then you're putting yourself in a dangerous position simply because you will forget the basics. Now, there are a lot of basic fundamental SEO rules, but we're really going to focus on 5 factors, and I'll talk more about that later down the road. So we're going to be focusing on these factors that haven't changed, or if they have changed, they've only changed very, very slightly in the last decade. So make sure that you're not in this mindset, otherwise it will prevent you from actually moving forward. So here's a quick overview of what's inside this video course. Of course, this is video number 1, which is the introduction. Video number 2 is going to be the main focus. So we're going to make sure that you have a clear view of what we're going to talk about. Video number 3, we're going to talk about 5 important factors that you definitely should implement in your WordPress site. Video number 4, we're going to talk about the URL structure, such as what should your domain look like, what should the URL look like, and all of that. Video number 5, we're going to talk about body text structure. Video number 6, we're going to talk about image optimization and basically how to make your images more search engine friendly. Video number 7, we're going to talk about title optimization and how long your titles should be. Video number 8, we'll talk about metadata optimization and how that can affect what text and what information will show up on these search engines. And of course, last but not least, this is sort of a bonus, but in video number 9, I'm going to talk about the top 2 WordPress plugins that we highly recommend that you install. So once you understand these 5 important factors and you've actually implemented them yourself, then you can actually automate things, but automating things doesn't really help you in the long run. It's sort of like a shortcut. Without understanding the basics and the fundamentals, you're actually hurting yourself. You're not really going to know why you're ranking. All right. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need to have a WordPress site. If you don't have a WordPress site, these fundamentals still hold true as well. But most of what I'm going to be showing you is how to implement these 5 factors into your WordPress site. You're also going to need to have a general idea of what the general keyword is that you want to rank on. And then, of course, you want to have a list of specific keywords related to that general keyword. And the reason why you need to have these in hand is because you're going to use these in your body text, your title text, your metadata text, and even your image alt tag text. So you're also going to need access to content, written text, and or images to create your post. Now, if you don't have all this information right now, that's fine. But you're definitely going to need it eventually. So with that said, let's move on to video number 2. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 2. And in this video, we're going to talk about the main focus so that you have a better, clear view of what we're going to talk about in this video course. You see, because on-page SEO is such a broad term that literally covers a lot of areas of your website, both the front end, such as the text, the content, and all of that, and the back end, like sitemaps, the XML sitemap, and all of that. Really, the main focus of this course is to help you make your front end of your WordPress site more SEO friendly. And what that means is we're going to focus specifically on how to make your overall WordPress site structure, your posts, your pages, more search engine friendly. So the goal is that when Google and other search engine robots come to your site, they will know what your site is all about. Now, by robot, what I mean by that is that Google usually will send out computers, which are called bots, and they'll come and scan your website and try to figure out what your site is all about. Now, the truth of the matter is that too many people skip over this because it isn't exciting. They are too focused on external SEO, but the reality is that there are a lot of front-end factors that you must do on all of your sites. So by skipping out on these fundamental steps and just focusing on things like backlinking, you're really going to miss out on a lot, because when Google comes to your site, if your site is not search engine friendly and you've just got a lot of backlinks, then yes, you do have a lot of votes that your site might be good. But at the same time, it's like, okay, this is a popular site, but what is this site all about? That is the goal of this course. Even though that seems basic, it's very often much of a skipped step. So once you get in the habit of doing the following and implementing these 5 factors, you'll actually be ahead of most of your competitors. So the good news is that most people don't do this. So the fact that most people don't do this and you're doing this, you're going to get ahead of them. Now, to clarify what this isn't, however, we're not going to focus on backlinking or any external marketing strategies, which is what I talked about earlier. So now that you have a clear idea of what we're going to talk about, let's move on to video number 3 and discuss the 5 important factors that all of your posts, your pages, your content, your text, your URL structures, and everything else should contain.